in this video I'm going to show you how to paint lettering on your car. Now the first step is to actually work out what you need. In this case I'm doing a Porsche stripe down the side of my old 911 here, and the first thing you need to do is you go to your local sign writer. Most sign writers are pretty helpful, and you need to get them to cut out a stencil. So this is basically the same as a sticker, but normally they would peel the background off. In this case we've got to peel the letters out, the part where we actually want to paint into, and we'll use this as a stencil for the job. Now you can use whatever logo you like, but the issue you need to find is if you take a normal picture to a sign writer, he's going to probably get pretty grumpy with you, because most pictures, JPEGs, GIFs, etc. are made up of pixels. So if you try and put that onto a plotter, what it'll try and do is it'll try and cut squares. It's all lots of squares, and if it tries to cut a curve, it'll have a fit and it won't like it. You need to try and find a vector image, and a vector image is basically plotted points that with a set curve in between, so that a plotter can do a nice curve. So if you're going to do an O, it can do a nice curve all the way around instead of going a big jagged cut. So I found a nice vector image of the Porsche logo that I wanted. I took it down to my sign writer and he said, yep, that's great. I said, these are the dimensions that I want it, and he cut it to spec. So it's exactly the way I ordered it. And now I'll go through and we'll put this on the car. If you haven't seen it yet, go to this link right here. We'll show you how to put a sticker on a car. It's the best method I've seen, and it's the one I've used hundreds of times, and I recommend it. So I'm going to quickly go through and put this on the car now, and then I'll take you through the next steps. On the back of the Porsche here, under the ducktail, I'm going to have the Porsche lettering across here, like you may have seen many times. The difference is on this car, because I'm going to be having stripes, I need to have a way to integrate the Porsche logo into the stripes. And what I've decided is I'm going to sort of do a positive negative type effect as the stripes pass through the lettering. So in that case, what I did is I got the sign writer to cut out the stencil without weeding anything out. So everything's here, the lettering's here, and I'm going to do it once it's on the car. The issue it makes is it is very difficult. You can't really see through to see where the lettering is. I've managed to just see through enough, and I've marked that is the end of the P and that is the end of the E there. So I've got some reference points to line it up. So now we go through the same process again and stick it on and see how it goes. So we are now currently all masked up, ready to go. Everything is masked up except for this mess down the back. So let's sort this out right now. Alright, so let's start, I'll start showing you through what I want to do here on the back. So the first step is I need to very carefully cut either side of my mask tape here so that I can start peeling out some of this stencil. Alright, so that's bits are cut. So now I need to work out what's coming out and what's staying in. So it's a matter of working through systematically and being very careful about it. So I know that these letters here are outside the stripe, so I know that I want them to be painted. Something else to note is this sticker material I've used is actually called masking film, and if you get your local spray painter to make some stencils up for you to spray on your car, I highly recommend getting to get the masking film. If you use cast vinyl, which is what they use for most signs, an issue I have found quite a bit, and it can happen with this as well, is that the gum from the sticker, after you paint it, can be loosened off of the sticker, and when you peel it up, you're left with this halo of gum around everything, and it basically is a nightmare to get rid of, and it's a real pain in the backside. So when you paint it, you really dust everything on, be really, really careful with it, because the last thing you want is to have all of this gum stuck on behind here and then you're trying to get it off. So now I'll start creeping my way inwards and just doing it a piece at a time, and hopefully I don't stuff it up. Another little trick is, if you get some gum left on when you're peeling off masking tape or whatever, is a good way to get it off. An easy way is just to use that bit of tape and just dab it on there, and it generally will pluck that gum back off of the piece you're working on. So it looks a little bit like an odd looking checkerboard at the moment, but I think it should actually look pretty good when it's done. So now it's one last going over. Make sure I rub down all of these edges perfectly well to stop any bleeding underneath them. And I'll go around all of it now, the whole car, and make sure all the edges are perfect. And then it's time to put some colour on. Alright, so I'm all masked up, ready to go. And another little tip to stop bleeding, which is what I'm going to do first, is I'm going to dust back over it with the base colour. So in this case, the orange, I'm going to go over it. So if it is going to bleed anywhere, hopefully the orange will fill that void, and the rest should hopefully be smooth sailing with no bleeding. Okay guys, so that's how you paint lettering on your car. A few tips to remember. Make sure when you go to the sign writer to get your things done to take him a vector image. Make sure you try and get him to cut it out of masking film, and dust on your layers of paint, because if you don't, you'll end up with heaps of gum left behind potentially, and it can be a real nightmare. So well, hopefully this video was helpful. If you enjoy my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel, Home Built by Jeff, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at the same place. Alright, thanks guys.